Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. You just missed me playing air guitar. Welcome back. Today we're talking about the REIT market, Real Estate Investment Trust. We have Calvin Schnure and Brad Case with us from REIT. And gentlemen, a lot of people think that we're a little long and the tooth in this cycle. And as everyone knows, commercial real estate cycles. And so where are we today in this cycle?
Yeah, you know, I mentioned earlier on that the real estate market cycle is very different from the stock market cycle. The stock market cycle may be something like 4 years in average duration. For real estate, it's more like 18 years. And it's really only 8.5 years ago that we hit the top of the market in early 2007. So I really think we're not more than about halfway through this cycle. I think REIT investors are likely to see several more years of strong growth going forward. The reason I say that is not just that we're only 8.5 years from the start of the cycle, but as Calvin was saying, construction has been very, very low. That creates an imbalance between low construction and high demand for commercial real estate, and that imbalance works to the advantage of REIT investors.
Well, hope you can see me. I'm doing the Snoopy dance over here. I love that that news. And you know, it makes some sense too. I mean, we've had a very slow recovery, so it may be that anticipated demand that that you spoke of earlier that will come back. And then you had talked about the lack of new construction. And one of the things I seem to be hearing from our guests and our clients when new development is these construction costs, especially labor, has really skyrocketed. You know, what could that possibly do with commercial real estate values and then in turn REITs?
That's really going to depend on what part of the market you're in. We are seeing some labor scarcity driving up wages. Some of the materials costs are up as well. And that's going to be a big negative impact if you're a developer. If you want to be putting up an office building, if you want to be putting up residential real estate, if you're doing any type of construction, this is going to add to your costs, and it's going to mean you're going to have to get a higher bid for the project that you're planning to do. This has a very different impact, though, on someone who's owning a current building. If you have a building that's already been built, rising construction costs is probably going to damp some of the new supply that comes online in 2 years, 3 years down the road. We were talking just a few minutes ago, I said one of the warning signs about being overbuilt would be if construction would continue to increase at the pace that we've seen over the past 2-3 years. Well, the rise in construction costs are one thing that lead me to believe you're going to see some leveling off in the new buildings that are coming online. That's going to ultimately help to prevent having a real boom-bust cycle for the existing buildings that are out there. So it really matters where you are. If you're a developer, these rising construction costs are a worry. If you're holding on to a building, it's good.
But that kind of news about rising construction costs is exactly what causes me to do my own little Snoopy dance.
Yeah, that's right, because all the existing properties that these REITs own, like you said, they're not developers, they're property owners, right? So their values go up and there's less competition, so rents can go up. And we've got to go here in just a minute, but I wanted to ask you guys, tell us about a couple of the tools. Don't you have some videos and some apps that are available on your site?
Yeah. We have several tools that investors can use. They can get information on the progress of the REIT market through the day by going to REIT.com. They can also get market commentary that Calvin or I or occasionally other people will put up on the website, talking about recent information that's come out from, say, the Federal Reserve or other sources, and what effect that is likely to have on the real estate market. We have our own web interviews. We summarize what's been happening in the market, which segments of the REIT industry have outperformed recently relative to others. There are lots of tools that investors can use at REIT.com. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought it up, because there's some great tools. I recommend our listeners and viewers go to REIT.com. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
That's a pleasure.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And thank you for joining us out there on the 42 radio stations, iTunes, YouTube, and the show website. Be sure to join us next week. We'll have Deloitte's outlook on commercial real estate. They're going to look into the future for us in their crystal ball. So until next week, be sure that you always lead, learn, and laugh, and join us for the Commercial Real Estate Show. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty, a great place to do business. Xceligent, information for the professionals. And Commercial Search, properties for sale and lease. To access these companies or for additional videos, podcasts, and articles, visit creshow.com.